Hello, it's Angie and we're on UK Money Wisdom. A question I don't often ask myself, and perhaps you don't either, is what I would have done differently before I retired. And this made me think that perhaps I'd conduct a small survey. So it turned out it wasn't so small. I asked approximately 100 UK retirees one simple question: what's your biggest regret in retirement? It wasn't money, it wasn't pensions, it wasn't investments, ISAs or stock market, but it was costly. And once you hear what it was, you may realise you're already perhaps drifting toward the same mistake without even noticing. This isn't a motivational video. This is something quieter, and it's something that costs people years, not pounds. So, why does this matter now? Well, it's because I firmly believe that no matter what age we are, there are things that we can do to change or adapt the road we're on, if necessary. And over the past year, through comments, emails, and conversations with you, I've spoken directly or indirectly to hundreds of retired people across the UK. Different backgrounds, different incomes, and different health situations. But when I asked them to reflect honestly on what they'd wished they'd done differently, the answers clustered around one theme. And it wasn't about earning more, it was about living earlier. Their biggest regret wasn't I should have saved more, it was I waited too long to use what I already had. Not just money, but my time, my energy, my health, my confidence, and my relationships. You see, they delayed. They waited for the perfect moment, and the perfect moment often never arrives. Let's look at a real-life example. Here's Susie. She's 67. Susie retired at 66. She did everything right. A full national insurance record, a small private pension, very careful budgeting. In 2025-26 terms, Susie receives £230.25 per week. That's the £11,973 a year. And she has a private pension of £4,000 a year. So her total income is £15,973. Susie realised she could have afforded small trips, a few comforts, but she didn't spend. She waited, just in case. At 68, her mobility changed. At 69, travel felt exhausting. At 70, she said something that stopped me cold. I thought I was being sensible. I didn't realise I was postponing my life. Here's another real-life example. It's David and he's 72. David worked 45 years. He retired later to stay useful, you see. He deferred his enjoyment so he could have more income. His regret wasn't financial, it was relational. He said, I was always preparing for later. And later did come, and he found my circle of friends was gone. My friends had moved, and my health declined. My confidence quietly eroded. It wasn't anything dramatic. There was just a gradual narrowing. Do you see the pattern that develops, which explains why this keeps happening to people? And, I've discovered this regret appears again and again. And they're not dramatic mistakes, they're quiet deferrals. And do you know what the 3 most common reasons retirees give for this deferral? They overestimated how long later would last. They underestimated how quickly health and energy changes. And they treated money as something to protect, not to use. You see, the system drains us to delay gratification. But retirement is not a savings goal. Look at these different outcomes that can be achieved with the same money. You'll see that just on $16,000 a year, the same income, A, hoarded money, and B, used that money gradually, sensibly. So they had the same pension, but A's fear just increased, whereas B increased their confidence by using the money gradually. And what happened with this same money? Well, there was a narrowing of the life of A, and B expanded their life. And actually, it's true, that does help you to live longer. You see, nothing changed financially, but it shows how a different, sensible attitude can change everything for the better. And this is not telling you to spend recklessly. It's not telling you to ignore future care needs. Oh no, it's not personal financial advice. It's a reminder that an unused life has a cost, even when the spreadsheet looks perfect. Here's a question many retirees said they wished they'd asked earlier. What part of my life am I postponing without realising? Not with panic, no, not with guilt. And it might be something like a train journey. Perhaps it's a hobby. Perhaps it's saying yes instead of saying no and waiting. The people I spoke to didn't regret being careful. They regretted being absent from their own time. If this video helped you pause, even briefly, then it's done its job. Please do share with loved ones where there's still time for them to change their outlook for the better. I'm Angie, and this is UK Money Wisdom, and I'll be back with you again very soon. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.